If you haven't heard already, Digital Extremes have revealed a brand new title at TennoCon 2022, which is an annual convention for all things Warframe. You see, Digital Extremes are the makers of Warframe, and this new title is meant to be a sister game that runs alongside Warframe that continues into the future with a new younger team within Digital Extreme that's taking over the live operation of Warframe. In the past, I have played a lot of Warframe, and I mean a lot of Warframe. So I'm quite excited to talk about and share this one with you guys, and if you do enjoy it, make sure to click like down below to support the video, and comment below if you've played Warframe and what you think of it. And of course, subscribe if you do enjoy these videos and want to see more on the channel. Let's jump into it by talking about what is Soulframe. The thing is, both the creative director and the lead designer of Warframe have moved projects into Soulframe. So if you like the vision as well as the design of Warframe, then you can rest assured that Soulframe is in good hands. It's also going to be heavily fantasy based instead of being more sci-fi futuristic, which is definitely a different direction than Warframe, but it'll make it a bit refreshing and feel like something new. The game will focus on cooperative PvE combat, as well as having procedurally generated environments similar to how it was in Warframe. It's of course based in a mirror universe to that of Warframe, and the gameplay between Warframe and Soulframe will be distinct, as Soulframe will focus more on slow and heavy melee based combat, so we can assume that your timing is going to be more important, there's going to be more weight to your attacks and stuff like that. Here's a quote from the creative director. They say, "Where Warframe is focused on shooting, this one's focused on melee. Where Warframe is super fast and crazy high speed, this one's going to be a lot more slow and heavy, but it still has a lot of similarities in the genre that we have experience in." So they're definitely going for something different here, which as someone who sunk a lot of time in Warframe, I'm actually kind of excited for, because this team can definitely make good games, and it's nice to see them try something a little different. The game itself will have themes of nature, restoration, and adventure, which were inspired by films like Princess Mononoke and The Never-Ending Story, particularly around the concept of industry and nature colliding. The world that the players inhabit in Soulframe isn't too happy about them being there, and that will be reflected in the world changing and adapting. Procedural caves and crevices will appear throughout the day as the world changes. Soulframe is aiming to have a sense of exploration that Warframe lacked in its early days, and will build off the foundations of the open world planets introduced recently into Warframe to offer more opportunities for exploration. The developers want the game to feel more alive and like the world is continuing on without you. They want the game to feel more alive to players on a moment-to-moment basis. They're essentially chasing a short session but high immersion sort of outlook. So each time you log in and you go out into the world, it will be different than the last time you logged out. So it's almost like a living, breathing world. At least that's what they're aiming for. The development is still in early stages, but like with Warframe, they want the community to be involved with the development part of the game. And they want to be transparent, as the developers are moving projects from Warframe to Soulframe. The dev team also want to make it very clear that while the game has soul in the title and is more slow-paced melee combat, it isn't going to be a Souls-like game, but they aren't quite ready to show the differences just yet. They did, however, praise Elden Ring for being an excellent game, and said that it was part of the conversation around the team. Of course, we at HyperX Gaming loved Elden Ring. We thought it was fantastic and enjoyed the scope of exploration and variety in making your character and the challenge of the combat. So if Elden Ring is used even for a little bit of inspiration in the game, we think that's a good thing. There isn't currently a release date or any platforms that the game will be released on, but we can probably expect it to launch on PC and probably come to consoles as well. The reveal trailer really doesn't give a lot away, but I really did like the part where he pulls the magic sword out of the ground. It gave me huge Excalibur and Sword in the Stone vibes, which in my opinion for a fantasy setting game is quite perfect. Another thing I really like is the outfits that the character wears, particularly the main character pulling the sword out of the ground. Of course, Warframe has always been fantastic for its aesthetic style, but it looks like they're going to be putting a bit of this into Soulframe as well. And even though it's a fantasy game, I really do like the way that they look and how they pull it off. There's clearly some kind of magic that's going to be in there as well. You can see a part where he sort of force pushes an enemy backwards. It also gave me slight Witcher vibes when he clicks his fingers to do it, almost like a hand gesture. And of course the magic slow-mo of plunging the sword into the floor. As a fantasy game that incorporates magic and has cool looking characters, this is right up my alley. The large wolf at the end also got me thinking, is this a boss you're going to fight? Or did he just help set free this trapped animal that he could now befriend and maybe use as a mount out in the world? So there's a lot to think about and not a lot to go off of in that trailer, but I really did like the look of a lot of what they showed. Of course, we're going to have to wait until we can see more, particularly some pure gameplay, so make sure to stay subscribed down below if you want to hear more about this as soon as we get some more information. Of course, click like down below to support the video if you did learn something new. Essentially, Warframe are now moving on to making Soulframe. They're moving some of the development team from Warframe into this Soulframe project. It's overall going to be melee focused with a slower style, whereas Warframe was of course more shooting and very fast paced. We don't know the platform or the release date yet, but it definitely looks like this game has potential. So let us know in the comments down below what you think of this so far. The videos that are on screen now we think you might like, so if you do like the look of them, why not give them a click, give them a watch, and then let us know what you think of them in the comments down below. They're on screen now if you do want to try them out, just click on the screen.